All right, all right, all right, all right. All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Good evening, Sister Deborah. Coming with a message. It is titled, Who Can Control the Hand of Yah? Who can control the hand of Yah? I will say that you have no fear on this earth of the hand of Yah. There's no fear, not on this earth, not in this country, not on this earth at all. No fear. Mm. I'm grateful that the fear of the Spirit is what Yah branded into the spirit of those that belong to Him. He branded the spirit of fear in our spirits. I'm grateful for that because what I see today, there's no fear, none whatsoever. They're not afraid in any shape, form, or fashion. And the fear of the flesh is different than the fear of the spirit. But I'm grateful that He saw fit, that He branded His in the spirit, that we may have the fear of Him in us. See, a lot of people don't know that. They think the fear of Yah is something they crank up, something they can build up on, or they can just pull up on. But the fear of Yah is branded in your spirit. It is a gift from Yah to you. Okay? Like unto righteous, like unto belief, like unto faith, and many others. All of those titles, the world deals with it on the end of the flesh. But I come to tell you that those same titles rest in the spirit of who you are. Many people have no idea, none whatsoever. And I'm going to go with 99.9. See, they thought that fear was fear, faith was faith, uh, righteous was righteous, and belief was belief. No, baby. No, baby. Those that are of the flesh, those belief, righteous, faith, and fear, it's on the outer man. Totally different than the brand that Yah has branded His in the spirit with righteous belief, faith, and fear. You hear Him telling it to Abraham. Abraham believed. It was said that Abraham believed. But see, what people didn't know, Abraham was in the vision. You see? He was on holy, how would I say, sight. So Yah just went on and told him, no, bro. No, I counted you already from the kingdom. That's really what He said for righteous. He already had Abraham down by his name, righteous. Woo! Thank you, Father Yah. Thank you. I like that because it's actually showing you that power don't play. It got everything written. You see, even when Yeshua told Satan that it is written, and it is written, then Satan turned around and told Yeshua it is written. You know why? He knows that everything is written. Woo-wee! Too bad you don't. It is written already. So when I say that you're down here just clowning, believe me, you're just clowning because everything is written already. So this title is Who Can Control the Hand of Yah? We're going to go a little deep and we're going to go up and we're going to land that bad boy down. Okay. But I want to first tell you, I was just taking a bath The moment I hit the water, here he go. I love how he rumbles. That water can tell you many things through that water. And the Father spoke to me through that water, and he said, the reason why they wouldn't talk about my hand, my stretched out hand, my arm, my stretched out arm, my right hand. There's a reason why. There's a reason that you can actually say, Deborah, all the time you've been among the church, you never heard it preached. Because they can't preach it, Deborah. See, that right hand and that stretched out arm was always connected to the beginning. It was the power always. So if the ball was dropped in Genesis, this is what he said to me. Do you expect them to teach the right hand and stretched out arm if the ball was dropped, Deborah? I said, that's a good one. That's a good one. That makes so much sense. This is why you don't hear people, even to today. You will not get no one on this devil platform to talk about the right hand and the stretched out arm. Then you might look at me all cockeyed and say, why? What's the deal with the right hand and the stretched out arm? Let me tell you something. You're talking about Torah. And Torah will never, ever, ever, ever be as great as the right hand of my Father. But you sling Torah. Torah can't even compete with the right hand and the stretched out arm. You see? But you sling that all day and night, year after year after year, for thousands of years. But you don't even know that if you got the right hand of Yah and the stretched out arm of Yah and the hand of what they got on here, which they switched the word Lord, because they figured you'll never get it. Okay, and you wouldn't have. Ooh, did you go there, Deborah? I went all the way there. Okay. So he was telling me this in the water. This is the reason why they couldn't preach it, Deborah. This is why they can't preach it today. They still know nothing of the power. And I'm like saying, so the ball was dropped. Right. Let me tell y'all what's so dangerous about it. I'm going to tell y'all something that's so dangerous about it. I can tell you in between 300 to 500, maybe it's even more. In between 300 to 500, maybe even more. The hand of the Lord, the hand of Yah, the right hand, and the stretched out arm is in the King James Study Guide. Now, how is it that could be in there that many times and never preached, never taught, never ministered? He said, Deborah, it gives you another confirmation that the power was dropped in the beginning. They never picked it up. So he said to me, the reason why they couldn't pick it up, the reason why they can't pick it up today is they dropped it in the beginning. So if you ever, he was telling this, talking to me in the water, if you ever wonder why they never taught it, you never heard nobody preach it, and even on this devil platform, they're not doing it. Why? They don't know the power. But yet the power was revealed in between 300 to 500 times in their study guide. I think that's a powerful thing to have that in there that many times. and you have lived to not hear nobody teach you. But I have to do what? Go back to what the Father said. The ball was dropped. So it's a confirmation to show you for real, for real, for real, the ball was really dropped. But he was telling me why. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 7. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 7. And the topic of this message, who can control the hand of Yah? Now, let me explain something to you all. Do y'all see, no matter if the ball was dropped and it never was picked up, even if they haven't seen from 300 to 500 times the hand of the Lord, the hand of Yah, the right hand, the stretched out arm, being there 300 to 500 times, even if they didn't see it. Look where we are today. And people saying they awaken. You see how it brings you to the level of seeing this full delusion on people who are actually saying they're awakened. You don't even know the power. But yet you on these platforms teaching and preaching. You got a mega churches. Does this bother me? Yes, it does. A great deal. Even though I know that all of it still is my Father's will. Even to the point where the ball was dropped is his will. That's why he ain't letting them go pick it up today. That's Yah doing that. That ain't there. That's the Most High Yah. Now I'm finna show you. I get so sick of people trying to teach somebody something. But I'm going to I'm going to reveal something to you. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 6. And let's go to verse 7. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 7. By the word of truth, by the power of Yah, by the armor of righteousness, on the right hand and on the left. Do you all know that the armor of Yah is detached to the power? Armor of Yah is detached to the power. Let's read this again. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 7. By the word of truth. I like that. By the power of Yah, by the armor of righteousness, on the right hand and on the left. See where the armor is at? Right hand and on the left. It is Yah's power. You know how it says, put on the whole armor? People are teaching it like you can go to your closet and pick it out and put it on. The whole armor is not something that you can put on and take off. Once it's on, y'all. When he's saying put it on the whole armor, he's letting you know, put it here. Think it, feel that thing. Here. Put it there. Put it here. That's putting it on. But it's already in you. He wants your thoughts to put it on. Your feeling to put it on. Your understanding of him, which is in you, to put it on. But it's connected to his power. So all these years that people be teaching it and preaching it. Oh, he said, put on the whole armor of Yah. That you can be able to defeat something. He ain't talking to everybody. The armor you already have on, it's in you. He said, put it on your mind. Put it on your mind, is what he's saying. The armor is already in you. When the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Holy Spirit, is in you, that's where that power is at. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 7. By the word of truth, by the power of Yah, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left. That's all his power, Yah. So the armor is not something that you can preach, you guys. The armor is not something you can teach. The armor is not something you can just sit here and teach people to make them think that there is something you got to put on. Oh, no, baby. You got to put it on in your thought, in your feeling, in your understanding of your mind. Because greater is already in you. He's just telling you to put it, remember it here. Put it here. Because he's already there. And it's connected to Yah's power. You see, it says armor. That's a throwdown, y'all. Armor. Oh, man, somebody come up on that, they in trouble. Let me turn around and tell you, in that right hand and in that left. Praise the mighty Yah. That's a place that nobody want to come up on. A situation like that? Oh, no, you don't. And just imagine how many people. Do you know how many people we even quoted to me? Not lately, but I'm just still saying throughout my living, oh, we got to put on the whole armor. And then you got these fools out here teaching it. Yeah, they fools. Because they teaching it with no power in them to know that the armor is power. He wants us to put it on our minds. You see? While we running around here thinking that it's somewhere we can go in a closet and put something on. That's how they teach it, y'all. I kid y'all not. That's how they keep teaching. Like anybody that want it, you can put it on. Just go in your closet and pick it up and put it on. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for having an opportunity to know truth. Because right here in verse 7, it says, by the word of truth. See, they can't even teach it. They can't even teach it. I'm sitting around here saying, they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball. He said, yeah, don't you think they dropped the ball? If they dropped the ball way back then, you notice it's the power. They dropped it way back in the beginning. That's why you ain't heard them teach the right hand, the stretched out arm, the hand of Yah, the hand of the Lord, the right arm that can reach. Oh, it's in there in between 300 to 500 times. How dare we stand in this year and act as if we don't see the power? I'm grateful. Again, thank you, Father Yah. I am grateful. Because I try to teach and explain to people that being in the wilderness, you see it all. You see it from the standpoint of the Holy Spirit, who is the teacher of all things. And he's willing to teach you that which you cannot change. But because it's where you're at and where you're going, it's where he's willing to teach you for the journey you're on. Many people are not even on a journey. They thinking they rule it. They think they can change the hand of Yah. They can control the hand of Yah. The topic is who can control the hand of Yah. Now, I want to say something else before I go on in this here that really disturbed me dearly. These things that had took place in the beginning, when the woman's identity was stolen from her, you all really didn't understand, and even to today, still don't understand it. I'm not expecting you to, because what the Father is showing me, only those that He have given His own light to, the light was to show you the truth of what darkness looked like yesterday and today. And I go back, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm going to go on back. I really wasn't planning on going back, but it looked like I'm going back. That wasn't my purpose, or that wasn't my doing or my want to do, but I see myself way back. This that had taken place in the beginning has placed males in a role where they got to have things their way or no other way. And no matter how wrong it is, no matter how heavy the darkness is, don't matter how painful, don't matter how many lose their life and how much pain men feel within themselves, the level of evil that's beyond evil. Let me tell you where I'm going. Over in the Middle East, in Iran and Iraq and many parts of the Middle East, they are taking on babies and raping them and marrying. Who lets a man marry a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old? Where did that stuff come from? You see where I'm going with it? Where is that? Where did that come from? The beginning. Women never got the opportunity to challenge men. Challenge him what? On what? Challenge them on the fact that we supposed to have came side by side with him on this earth and have dominion equally. But when they stole our identity, that's why you got so many on every nation, men trying to portray women. And did you know I'm in America? Did you know I did not know that every country have gugas of men portraying to be women? And it just, I'll be like, no, can that be? I'm thinking it's only here. No, it's all over the world. The reason why these men are messing with babies is because women never did, they ain't the cause. Man stole woman identity from the beginning to where he ruled the world. So he feel that he can have 6 and 7, 8 and 9, 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds. I heard they're going down to 6 years old. And a lot of them do die. That's turmoil. That's painful. But in them, they feel they rule the world. Not understanding that it was supposed to be male and female. If it was like Yah created it at the beginning, they would have to answer to female. But instead, they put female under their feet and made them like into cattle. And this is why you see these pedophiles. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. The warning came out that it was going to be likened to the days of Noah and the days of Lot. Well, I'm going to tell you like I told you the other day. When the Most High wanted me to say to you that we are in a day like no other. So it's way beyond Solomon and Gomorrah. It's way behind the days of Noah because people ain't looking at what was taking place during that time. They over here acting ignorant, talking about the giants. They ain't looking at the fact that men was producing daughters. See? And selling them as they please. Over in the Middle East, fathers are selling their daughters like unto the day of Noah. What you all did is, again, those that's in the dark, what they did is they lied from the beginning, even to this very day. And this is how they got away with it for so long. Because I tried to teach that 3 and 4 years ago in Genesis chapter 6. All you know, the key is right there in the beginning, the 2 verses in the beginning. Man began to multiply and have daughters born unto them. See, woman was kicked out then. In the beginning, she didn't have no say so. It didn't say a man and wife or anything. Man was like they had the babies all by themselves. They had the right to sell them to these men, and that's what made the sons of Yah get involved. See, y'all missing it. Y'all missed it. Y'all done missed what I just taught y'all. That's how the sons of Yah got involved with the daughters of men. It wasn't, see, everybody want to teach the sons of Yah and the daughters of men and forget. Go back, bump that thing back up to verse 1. And it tells you men. All they were doing, having their daughters and selling them off. Right here today, in the Middle East, Iran, Iraq, Turkey, all of them doing it. All of them are doing it, especially Islam, the Muslim religion, are having babies, y'all, giving them to men, selling them off to be sex toys. Just as I tried to teach you all that in Genesis. I'm starting to feel bad now, because I don't know why I'm going over in this area. This is not even my lesson. But I'm starting to feel bad now. Because when I was teaching that 4 years ago, I tried to drill it into people. I taught it so many times. I said, people, y'all missing it. Let me go there. Y'all missing what's going on. You know why? They wanted you to think about fallen angels, giants, all of those things. They didn't know that Yah was focusing on men. While we made it about everything else outside of what the focus was. Let's go to Genesis chapter 6. Let me show you right here. In Genesis chapter 6, verse 1, and it came to pass when the men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Stop. That's the mystery. That's the hidden mystery. Pull your butt today, year 2026. Over in Iran, Iraq, Middle East, Turkey, Islam, Muslim, this is what they are doing. Big time. To where they trying to start a fight, war against those who trying to stop them, their own people. Because they've been doing it for too long. And nobody said nothing about it. Same thing about the pedophiles here in the United States of America. They've been doing it so long. Still today, ain't nobody saying nothing about it. They have made right, wrong, right, just as he said. But when I look at it, y'all, I don't see it like y'all see it. I don't see it nowhere like you all see it. I see it as if it's been here for so long and everybody is okay in it. Because they're looking at it and they saying, well, so what? I guess that's them. And don't even understand. That's how y'all measure each and every last one of us. By our own thoughts and our hearts. We can't do anything about it, but that's what made it be the way that it is today. Same thing about dropping the ball in the beginning. Figure we can't do nothing about it. We can't pick it up and bring it in. They ain't listening. She always having that mind that says it's okay. That's what you really said. That it's okay for them to be like that and to do that. Now, here in Genesis chapter 6, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Stop. That's the mystery. That's what they're doing over in the Middle East right now. That's what they're doing underground. Having babies born so they can do as they please with them. You see, when he said, Deborah, they take the prophecy that tells them and warn them it's going to be like the days of Noah and like the days of Lot. They go about it the wrong way, so you won't see exactly what that meant. That's why they skip that Genesis chapter 6, verse 1 and 2. Every man on this face of this earth, they call themselves a Maureen, a seer, a watchman, a pastor, a minister, a teacher, a preacher, a priest, an evangelist, a prophet, a prophetess, an apostle. All these clowns got all these positions. They would never touch the truth and tell the truth. They're sitting right there. When he gave the prophecies of Noah and of the days of Lot, he wanted us to dig the mystery out of it so we can see exactly what's going on today. And over in the Middle East, and let me kind of bring that thing down some. All over the world, y'all, children, male and female, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I heard even younger than that, are being raped, molested by grown men, just as in Genesis chapter 6, verse 1 and 2. See, you get lost in the next 2, 3, and 4 verse, but the mystery is hidden in verse 1 and 2. Because what was the man doing with the daughters that being born unto them? And it's a sad feeling that I'm feeling, because I know I talked this too many times. And the sadness is the fact that here it is right here before us, like the days of Noah. Because what we are looking for is an ark. We are looking for all the wrong things in the days of Noah and in the days of Lot. He said it's going to be like. But what we missed is where he said it's going to be worser. What do you mean, Deborah? This is a time that has never been on the face of the earth. Ever was there, and never shall it ever be as worse as it is today. And we walking around like we got, you know what? That's okay. Yeah, I keep saying that. That's okay. But that's deep. That's deep. Hidden. Because nobody want to tell the truth. It ain't that you can't do When they stole that woman's identity in Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2, and when they stole it in chapter 2 and 3, that was it. They marked everything from the way, the order that it was created in, and they made it about men. That was not the will of the Father, even to this very day. They still holding firm to the order that they took out of order from the Most High Yah, way back in Genesis. And did you all, I know you don't know this, they are all fighting to keep it to be legal that they marry in 6, 7, and 8-year-olds for sex. That's all you can use a child that age young for, y'all. And it's not even sex. You can't really get nothing out of it, but you can't tell these men that. Because they're not only doing it to little girls, they're doing it to little boys too. And it's okay. This is the power that they have become. So when we're talking about the elites on the four corners, can we really talk about just the elites on the four corners who's ruling the world, who's also pedophiles, wicked of the wicked, and abominable, and Satan enemies? Can we really look at them without looking at all over the world? All the other people who ain't as rich as they are has also fell into all this abomination, this wickedness. And they taking babies that's born to the earth, creating them to be their sex toys. And no one don't want to preach it. No one wants to teach it. Why? Because these are men. They ain't gonna teach the truth no way. That's why I told y'all they don't come to me telling me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Running y'all stupid tails around talking about you awaken. You only awaken to one thing, and that is a fool. That's about it. So much stuff is going on. So when he says it's going to be like the days of Lot, you can't just look at the ideal of how he rains fire and he did this. No, he's trying to tell you to look at yourself. Look at your surroundings and everything in your household and everybody around you. The days of Lot. He told us in that day, it's going to be worse than any day. So why are we using the days of Lot and the days of Noah? Because he wanted us to look at a lot of stuff within it, because it's going to be happening today, which it is, and it's been happening. Women have turned a blind eye and a deaf ear to many things. Many things. I don't think they even had a choice. The same thing I'm sitting here telling you what they doing over in the Middle East, they've been doing it here in this country for years. Our grandmothers and great-great-grandmothers and great-great-great-grandmothers and great-great-grandmothers, they done let these men have their grandbabies, their great-great-grandbabies, their children. These women really, really have lived a low life. Don't let nobody tell you grandmama and great-great-granddaddy kept the family together. Get y'all stupid, dumb tails somewhere and sit down. All of it is a lie. This abomination and this here mess didn't just come up today. I'm going to tell you what the Father told me. It was longer than 20 years. It had to be about 30 years. You know what he told me? He said, Deborah, I want you to always keep in mind, today is a product of something that already happened. The difference, Deborah, it was hidden. You mean today is just a product of that which was hidden in the dark? Yeah. That's why I said that which is in the dark. That which is in the light is going to bring out of the darkness in the end days. And that's what you're seeing. Now, notice bringing it out of darkness. Guess what? I told y'all it wasn't going to change nothing. It ain't even make you feel good, because it don't make me feel good at all. And I'm sitting here saying, I'm going to be honest, I saw this here about 3 or 4 months ago, I say. And I just thought, I just went to Blind City. Because guess what I saw, y'all? Men in court. All these foreigners in Middle East in court fighting to have those rights given back to them to be able to have these little girls. And it's not just little girls, they're doing it to little boys as well. A lot of little boys. Just like the days of Noah, if you really pay attention, it was males doing it back in the days of Noah. No man is going to preach it, tell it, and teach it right to y'all. They ain't going to tell you the truth of the whole matter. And the Father ain't looking for them too. Because if you want to get your tail up under somebody who's just going to stand there and lie and ain't going to tell the truth, that's on you. Just go on up in that broad gate that you already heading to and call it a quit. Because the truth of the matter is this. I saw them about 2 or 3, it had to been 3 or 4 maybe months ago, in court. I said, what are they acting a fool for? What they had to do with these kids? And it hurt me then. It hurt me then. They're trying to get the law to let them continue to marry 7 and 8-year-old little girls. Come on now, y'all. So when you thinking of United Snakes, they are the worstest. It's here. It's been here. Our grandmothers, our grandfathers, they've been doing it for years. Get y'all tail somewhere and sit down and stop all this lying. And if the truth be told, these men in their 60s and 70s and 80s, they'll tell you a story. But when they tell you, they'll start crying. Because it came on down. And they did it, and they did it, and they did it, and you run around talking about, boy, family was different yesterday. Grandmama kept the house. Grandmama ain't did nothing but lie. Cover up. Knowing that the granddaddy and her sons were doing things they ain't have no business doing. I can speak on it. I ran up on too many grown men and women that had told me what grandmama and great-great-grandmama and great-great-grandmama and granddaddy and great-great-granddaddy, all of them was doing. So that's how it's where it's at today. Because it come from somewhere. Stop lying on our ancestors. Oh, it wasn't like this yesterday. You used a lie from the pit of hell. The Most High Yah himself spoke that in my spirit. Because I was walking home crying. And he said, Deborah, always understand that which is in the dark shall come to light. What is today is just a product of yesterday that was hidden. So when I'm sitting here getting all reared up because over in Middle East, the Islam religion is in it deep. The Muslim, they in the belief that they can do that. Who allowed this? Who called this to be something righteous? How could you uphold a religion under some sort of monster God that you serve that tells you that stuff is okay? Sin, and it's the level of sin that brings that lust pleasure, y'all. To the point where you got so many people telling you about how the Muslim men do the little boys. The little boys, like the 7, 6, 8, 9. Yes, everybody hides to act like they don't see what's going on. But with Sister Deborah, again, I'm grateful that y'all gave me a heart to feel. I think people's heart is so hardened. I know for a fact it is. That's why they can't feel nothing. Nothing fazes them. Nothing means nothing to them. People just, hey, whatever. And that's where you're supposed to feel, because your name is already written somewhere. But I can guarantee you, with that feeling in that type of heart, I'm quite sure it's not something in the kingdom. Okay, so let me get into the lesson is who can control the hand of Yah. Let's go to Romans chapter 9. So I just wanted to cover that because I've been seeing a lot of that. And I'm just like, it ain't even nothing nobody can do about it. It's going to be worse than that. It's going to get worse than that. Just imagine babies coming here just to have their fathers and men mess with their bodies. Just coming to. And you know what, y'all? I can really teach that thing. Sister Deborah can really teach that thing. I can really teach you. You all might not even know it's nothing really there. It's the mind that takes you a place to do that. A dark, wicked, evil place. The truth be told, you're not even getting anything out of it. The mind is a powerful tool. It can tell you you're getting something out of it. And it's telling you you're getting something out of it while you're hurting somebody. You see what I'm saying? It's telling you in love and you getting some enjoyment. And here this is a 6-year-old girl. The mind is a powerful demon that can tell you that you're really getting something out of it. If you're really getting something out of it, why don't it last as long as you want it to last? Oh, no, don't, hey, don't get Sister Deborah to preach that thing. Yeah, right. See how ugly that monster is, that mind of yours? It is still tame and limited. It's nothing there. It's nothing there. They freak off even in pain and suffering. Oh, that's that sick mind. It's nothing there for Paul to be molesting his 7-year-old granddaughter or his 8-year-old grandson. It's nothing there, Paul. But a dark demon in your mind. It's nothing there. That's another thing I realized. Men never were able to get the thing that Yah offered them as men. And I believe all because they took the woman's identity and her purpose that Yah made and saw that it was good. And they took it and robbed her of her feminine dominion on this earth. So I believe what we see, and I'm going to tell y'all something about the dark. I'm going to tell y'all something about the light in it. Let me tell you about it. When they took that identity, right then it was on. And that's why it's the way it is today. It always take you right back. But guess what, y'all? They getting these babies. And guess what? These babies are the sperms of these men. You see how deep the rabbit hole goes? You grab these little girls and these little boys, and they came from their daddy's sperm. You see how deep the rabbit hole goes when it come down to this here abomination, this sexual, pedophile, sick, deep stuff. That's why men don't have no feeling. That's why y'all didn't give them anything to have nothing but a quickie, because they minds that sick. Their mind goes all over the place, never finding what y'all put in them to enjoy and be happy. That's why they go on to all these things, even in Solomon and Gomorrah, and even not Solomon, yeah, in Solomon and Gomorrah, same thing. They wanted a quick fix, and that shows you the level of their sick minds. It's just that high. It's a very high level of abomination. It's the highest you can reach. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest. Y'all might not know that, but it's the highest you can reach. For the Creator to destroy Solomon and Gomorrah and all the surrounding cities because of that. Come on now. You gonna think he don't see what's going on? And then he this is what he lets me know: the children are the fathers. This is another reason why these men feel they can have these babies and do whatever they want to them. Because they had taken the identity and stripped the dominion from the woman. They feel they have the dominion. They can do anything they want. And that's how they gained it. That's why the Roman Catholic went and moved it out of the order in which Yah had created it. And people are so content by it. They have been living by it since the beginning. Mess with these babies. And you think it's something new today. It's a product of yesterday that was hidden. Even to the point of what I was explaining to you all in Genesis 6, where it says, and men begin to multiply. And daughters begin to be born to them. That's the mystery that 99.20 trillion missed. And they missed it without caring, without wanting someone to know the truth. That's why they lean so heavy on the giants, knowing a giant can't have no woman. And I don't know why the sense of the people won't grip that. A giant can't do nothing with a woman, can't pregnate a woman. You got to come back down to reality, and ain't nobody want to go there. They want to stay in Dumb City where they can make it make sense. And that's how they have been doing it, making all this trash make sense to people. So me, myself, I said, what you going to do with this? I said, it's this deep. And then when he went on to tell me when I was in the tub about this is how he sealed it. He said, remember, this day is the worstest that has never been on the face of the earth. But you will never be able to really teach that and preach that because everybody think they got it made where they at. They think it's all good. I don't care what happened to them. It's not over in the Middle East. It's in here in this country. Greater than over there. In the United Snakes of America. It's in your household. Woo! Don't you go there, Deborah. It has always been there. Romans chapter 9, verse 20. Romans chapter 9. Who can control the hand of Yah? Romans chapter 20. Nope, chapter 9. Where I'm going, chapter 20. Bring it down, Deborah. Romans chapter 9, verse 20. Nay, but, O man, who are thy that replieth against Yah? Who? O man, who are thy that replieth this against Yah? Shall the thing formed say to he that formed it? Oh yeah. That's the mindset of people today. You know, right there, kind of got me a little sad too, because now I kind of see what the Father be telling me all the time. He said they have already done it to me before they have done it to you, baby. So if they do it to you, it's okay. You good, you okay. They already done it to me. That's why they're doing it to you. And that's a sad thing for me. That's a sad thing for me because people have fully embraced. Romans chapter 9, verse 20. Nay, but, O man, who are thou that repliest against Yah? Shall the thing form? You a thing. You hear that? Shall the thing form say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me this thus? You see? Many people do that. They ask the Most High, why have thou made me or created me? Especially when they're having hard times, when they're sick, when they lose their job, when they don't have anything. They tend to blame the Most High for creating them, just like Adam did when he disobeyed Yah. He said, that woman you gave me. You see? And it's just like he's saying, they have already blamed me. So you okay? They're going to blame you too. You okay? You good. Because they already blame me. What they do to you, they ain't already done to me. So you good. You're my enemy. Okay? So here it is. Let's say that again. Verse 20. Romans chapter 9 and verse 20. Nay, but, O man, who are thou that replieth this against Yah? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Verse 20. Have not the potter power? Oh, have not the potter power over the clay? People, you are clay. Yah is the power. Okay? He is the power. He's the potter that holds all power. And you are the clay. Remember that. Verse 21. Has not the potter power over the clay, of the same lump to make one vessel honor, and another vessel, and another unto dishonor? Now, right there, heavens came and set something on the minds of every individual who think that they has a Holy Spirit or the Ruach HaKodesh. It's actually a very powerful statement. It's actually letting you know he took you from the same lump, but he created one to be one way and the other one to be another way. So which way was that? One to honor and one to dishonor. Did he do that before the foundation of the world? Or did he just get you down here and say, okay, you're going to dishonor and you're going to honor? Anybody? Can anybody answer that? Or can you? Verse 21. Has not the potter power over the clay, of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another one unto dishonor? Even in that right there is a mystery. But it's a mystery that only those who carry the Ruach can embrace. Can't everybody embrace that? Everybody cannot embrace it. Everybody, and the reason why people don't respond is because it's not in them. I'm gonna be honest with you, to tell you the truth. And then he said, you will know them by their fruit, by their work, and in any labor, because they tend to not be able to answer nothing. You see? Here it tells you in verse 21, have not the potter power over the clay, of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor. This is heaven. Let's see here. Before the foundation of the world, spiritual seed and serpent seed. Exactly. That's the same setup. But see, it was before the foundation of the world where the potter. Now I'm finna show you, I'm gonna teach you something right here in this verse. I ain't going nowhere because I'm finna teach you something. Okay? Right here in this verse is something very powerful. Can anybody see there's something very powerful there? Very powerful. Let me not ask any more questions because let me not ask any more questions. Here in verse 21, it says, has not the potter power over the clay? Notice it said the clay of the same lump. Do y'all see where it says the same lump? Where's the lump? The clay that's the same lump. He did it from the kingdom, y'all. From the same ones that was before him. He separated them. We all was once angels. And when he formed us, before he formed us, he already know one was to come down to honor him and one was to dishonor him. So we're in the rest behind. The people don't get that. How is it people don't get that? Why is it people are not teaching that and preaching that? You know why? Because they would have to turn the power back over to the potter. And they can't afford to do that. They're doing too good. They're doing too good to turn that power back over to the potter. The potter telling you he can't. Hey, Deborah, I had two. One to honor and one to dishonor. But guess what? They came from the same lump. Same lump. One would say the same lump could be that we all are born as clay, as dirt, which is still the same lump, right? But this potter is setting it up from the kingdom. So he wants you to know the way he formed it from the same lump. The same lump was, he was the potter. And if you just can picture a potter building the clay with his hands, okay? But he's saying the same lump of clay, he caused one to be honored and one to dishonor. That should have bust every religion that said they any type of religion. It should have bust them wide open, because that's actually telling you what y'all talking about ain't nothing. He still rule. This potter of the clay could be the same lump, could be the flesh, the clay. And it says to make one vessel unto honor and to make another one to dishonor. So the clay could be still the flesh, but the position of the honor and dishonor is from the kingdom. Still us as angels, one to honor and one to dishonor. But we come from the same lump, meaning flesh. And our spirits, we also came from the same kingdom. One to honor and one to dishonor. That's how we're going to return. Did y'all know that? Remember, Yeshua is going to the four corners and he's going to collect the goats and the sheep. We all are going back. And then he sat at the throne and separated them. One on the left and one on the right. You see how they're going to return back? The same lumps out of the spirit realm. It's the same lump that could be considered the clay. It's just one is that's flesh that's honor, and one that's dishonor. One spirit that honor, other one is the spirit that dishonor. You see how he rumbled? He know what exactly what he did. That's why I think about how they were allowed to drop the ball and leave it there. Because Yah said, Deborah, my T's are crossed, as they say on the earth. My I's are dotted. It is written, like Yeshua said. You see? And we're going to cover that. Now, he says here in verse 22, what if Yah, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessel of wrath fitted to destruction. See, the one that's here to dishonor, his vessel is already fitted to destruction. You see how we can't change him? You see how we can't, the hand of Yah, we cannot control it. We cannot move it this way or move it that way. Even if it's our wife, even if it's our husband, even if it's our mother, even if it's our father or our dad, our brothers, our sisters, our bestest friend, our cousins, our aunts, our uncles, our co-workers. We're running around here hanging and banging with the serpent seed, even after being redeemed, because we got so comfortable on this earth, portraying that we are one way and we thinking we got it going on because we still hanging with those who's going another way. Y'all, everything people have made righteous right here on earth. They turned, when he told me, I said, "For Father, how long had they switched that?" He said, "How long do you think it been since they stole the woman's identity?" I'm like, "Father, don't tell me since the beginning." They've been at the work of, they've been working hard to make right wrong and wrong right. So what we're living in today is what? Wrong. And people walking around here act like they don't see it. So that's why I'm wondering, Father, why are people acting like they don't know what's going on? Why people don't know this? Why they don't know that? Why they don't know this, Father? Father, why they don't know this? Why they, Deborah, all they want to know is wrong. They want to know the lie. They want to do wrong. They want to think wrong. They want to feel wrong. They want to act wrong. They want to be wrong. But they want to call it right. That's how wrong it is. They've been doing it for too long. Okay, so here in verse 22, what if Yah, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known? And what did I tell y'all? Endured with much suffering. The vessel of wrath fitted to destruction. They already fit to destruction. That's why they're doing the things that they're doing. Because when I'm looking at it, I'm like, they're out of control. When is you going to end and when you going to get them? How long you going to let them do this? And that's me. That's what I've been saying in the last month. What's going on here? How long this going to go? How long? That's why I know it's got to be something that's about to happen. I know we're going to have a lot of deaths. I do know that. But it's something that's got something is, it don't have to happen, but I can't see this because I be saying to the Father, it's hard to believe that he's been seeing this all the time. The Father been seeing it all the time. Okay. Yah is the potter that formed us from the same clay. Right. He makes one to honor and the other one to dishonor. It's all in his power to do what he wills. Right, exactly. And that's the title. Who can move, who can control the hand of Yah? And we really believe we got this thing nailed to where we think we or feel we it's going, everything's going according to what we think. And it's not. It's still going according to his will. When we finish clowning, things are still, we thinking we hurting him. You ain't hurting him. You're hurting yourself and your family. And a lot of people don't even know that. They're hurting their families. But you know what? I guess that there is another thing. Because if he didn't already divide the family up, I don't know. He already didn't cause one to go this way and one to go that way. He said, I come to not to bring peace, but bring division. Then he used the word, I've come to bring them against one another. Because what we did, even after being redeemed, we still think those that are redeemed still think that it's okay to cling on to the one that's not redeemed. Because we're looking at the standpoint of the flesh. And we're looking at them as, oh, this is the flesh. And that just is so, oh, y'all, that is so sad when you think of it. It is so sad. Because I think about how the Father was saying it, it's a mystery. Even when you married, he said a man should marry, should find a wife, and they should be one in the flesh. And he said, this is a mystery. And you know, the mystery is one could be saved and the other one can be redeemed and the other one. No, let's just use this category. One can be honored, here to honor. The other one can be here to dishonor. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. That's the way heaven created it. That's what David was trying to tell y'all. He was conceived in sin. Because we turned everything on the end of the flesh and made it righteous. But we didn't take on the beginning and understand what Yah called equally yoke. We don't understand none of that because we move based on our flesh. We do everything based on the level of our flesh. That's how we rumble. But he was talking, he said, but this is a mystery. And I'm like saying to myself, now he's saying that this is a mystery because they only one in the flesh. And all of our flesh is our worst enemy. So if my flesh, my worst enemy, can't nobody be worse to me than my flesh. And vice versa. So it really sets you up to know that Yah is not too keen with the fact that you are one in the flesh, to the point where he called it a mystery. Because you're not going to, you really don't understand if he say, we just spoke about the clay, and he said from the same lump, meaning we all born in the flesh. And in the spirit realm, we all born from the spirit realm. This, a lump. I mean, as far as when we use the clay, we can use flesh. But when we honor and dishonor, we got to go back to the spirit realm. You see? But he's honoring. Who are we honoring? The vessel of honoring, the Most High Yah. Who are we dishonoring? The Most High Yah. You see? But we come from the same lump. You get it? So if because we dropped the ball way back and he knew we would, where we at today is where we have decided we're going to reside and we're going to live and we're going to die in it. because we don't want to see the light. We don't want to see spirit and truth. And he said, if, now this is what came to me yesterday. He said, if a believing husband has an unbelieving wife and she's willing to live with him being a believer, then it's okay. If the believing wife has a husband that's willing to live with her as a believer, then it's okay. Because they're only one in the flesh. That means we still have to be about our own salvation. You see? We still have to be about our own salvation. That's separate from the oneness of the flesh. Because from the oneness of the flesh, that means everything that you have to do to live in this world as flesh. Okay? But as spirit, you can be separate. But he says, if one that don't believe is willing to stay with the believer, then the believer, you okay. Because this one ain't going to separate you from what you believe. Woo! I love that, Father Yah. He said, I'm the potter of the clay. I causes one vessel to honor me. Now, who can move the hand of Yah from that? Who can move the hand of Yah from that? No man. And he said he's caused one to dishonor. Who can move the hand of Yah from that? Who can move the hand of Yah from that? No one. Let's go to, I got so many good verses here. Let's go to Isaiah 14. Let's go to Isaiah 14. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 27. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 27. And it reads, for Yah of hosts have purposed, and who shall disannul it? Am I pronouncing it right? Disannul it. And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? But what is it talking about? Let's go start it over again. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 27. For Yah of hosts has purposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? So here, host has purposed. When it says the host, y'all, to me, it's like he's the creator of the whole host of the heaven. Okay? That means he owns the heaven. The whole host of the heaven has purposed. And who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? One thing I do notice about it, it didn't have to say the Lord of hosts. It's saying Yah of hosts. It's saying the same Yah of hosts. I mean, it's letting you know the whole kingdom have purposed. He has purposed. And who shall disannul annual, disannul it, disannul it, and his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? It's going back to the title again. Who can control the hand of Yah? Here's another example in Isaiah, verse 14, chapter 14, and verse 27, letting you know that you cannot turn the hand of Yah that's stretched out. Yah cannot, you cannot control the hand of Yah. You cannot turn it back to get it to be what you want it to be, what you think it should be, what you feel it should be, or what you say it should be. So all these different religion, all these interpretations, all these different beliefs don't mean a rat's behind to him. That's another reason why he let him do it. Because he got everything written. They ain't talking about nothing down there, Deborah. They ain't talking about nothing. You see? They ain't talking about nothing. Because everybody think, not gonna say everybody, many believe that Yah is soft. Those that believe in him don't have no respect for him. They don't have no honor. They don't even have no praise. They don't have nothing but a message to lead you to the broad gate. That's it. Outside of that, they don't have nothing. Okay, so let's go to Isaiah 43. Let's stick with Isaiah 43. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, and verse 13. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, and verse 13. Ye, before the day was, I am he. And there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who shall let it? He's letting you know there is none that can deliver out of my hand. So when people think that they can override the power of Yah, because we know that hand is the right hand, we know that's the power, because people really think so. Pastor I'm telling his congregation we're gonna all need to come in and be on one accord, and we're gonna pray until the morning sunrise, and we're gonna touch the hem of his garment, and we're gonna ask him to bless the sanctuary. We're gonna ask him to pour out his blessings or whatever. But guess what? All of that is vain and vexed. That's how well the leaders manipulate the people, as well as those who, all these different churches here in this United States that support the fake ooze over there. You're going to tell me they don't know by now? They are not. That's the lie they want to live instead of the truth. That's showing you that a prime example of how all these churches are sending funds and sending everything over to the one that's lying. Same thing with YouTube. People will give like crazy to those that's lying. And then they'll put their hands behind their back when it's time to give to the servant of the Most High Yah. People think Yah don't see that. He said, Deborah, I saw them drop the ball way back in Genesis. Who gonna tell me? He said, before Genesis even exists, they dropped the ball in the kingdom. Hello. So a lot of things we thinking that he don't have any dealings with, and he's not familiar with. Oh, he don't know nothing about that. This is too petty. No. He knew you before the foundation of the world. He calls one to honor and one to dishonor. And you gonna tell me the potter didn't know what clay he had? When he calls one to honor and one to dishonor, use a lie from the pit of hell. He knows any and everything there is to know about each and every last, even those who went to sleep the moment they woke up. Oh, hello. A newborn baby being born, took a breath and went out and ain't and in the ground now. He knew that one too. So a lot of people got a lot of scheme. And that's the victory I'm looking for. Is when he show up and show out on all that mess. Because people are living the lie. And they feeling so good about it. Okay. Here in Isaiah 43 and verse 13, it says, ye. Before the day was. Before the day was, it's letting you know. Before heaven and earth was created, as a day or as anything, I am. Woo! Ahaya, ahaya. That's why I like that I am. Because he can be whoever he wants. He said, I am he. Okay? And there is none that can deliver out of my hand. That means ain't nothing nobody on this earth can do. They can't deliver you out of the hand of Yah. Which one? The wrath of Yah or the blessing of Yah? Neither nor. Can't nobody deliver you out of it. You there. Okay? And then he says, I will work, and who shall let it? The question again, who can control the hand of Yah? If you let this world tell you, they think they got his hands behind his back. They think they got his hands tied up behind his back. Oh, he ain't doing nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing. We done had thousands of years to go by doing this wicked and evil, and it ain't changed. That's the mind of people today. They really think that's where it's at. Now, let me go to Isaiah 45. In Isaiah 45 and verse 9 through 10. Isaiah 45 and verse 9 through 10. Woe unto him that said unto his father, what begetteth thou? Or to this woman, what hast thou brought forth? Verse 11. Wait a minute, is that my verse? No. I'm sorry. Isaiah 45, verse 9 and 10. I was down 10 and 11. Verse 9 says, woe unto him that striveth with his maker. Let the, what's that, potsherd strive with the potsherd. What is that? What do that mean? Let me look up that. I seen that earlier and I was wondering what it is. Let's see if we can find out what that is. Unless someone in the live knows what that is. It's pot. Let me pronounce it first. Listen to your voice singing any song. I didn't ask you for that. There's an app that does exactly that, and it's called My Tune. Potsherd. But anybody have the meaning? What does it mean? A broken piece of. So you saying clay, like. Wait a minute. Potsherd. Okay, so you got the meaning. Potsherd.
Potsherd. Potsherd.
Hey, I'm not asking you that. Okay, you have, yes, a broken clay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking when you said, wait a minute. It says a vessel, fragment, okay, a potter, a piece of potter. So, yes, right, you're right. Wow. Let's see what that's saying then. Let's see. Isaiah 45 and verse 9. Woe unto him that striveth with his maker. Let the clay strive it with the clay of the earth. Shall the clay say to him that fashioned it, what make it thy or thy work? He has no hands. What? That's about right for the flesh. Woe, verse 10, woe unto him that said unto his father, what giveth tis thy, or to the woman, what has thy brought forth? Questioning the man, what do he giveth thy, or to the woman, what did she bring forth? Notice the man be giveth because he's giving his sperm, okay, or to a woman that brings it forth. But it says, woe unto him that striveth with his maker, which is with Yah. Let the clay strive it with the clay of the earth. Okay, which is flesh. Shall the clay say to him that fashioned it, what maketh thou? Or thy work? He has no hands. Okay, so you see how the clay that's here to dishonor is saying that he has no hands. And then it says, and what maketh thou? He questioned the maker, the creator who fashioned him. I believe that all the way. Because right today, people would tell you they believe in, but they always got something to say about the Most High Yah that's not, that does not make him to be all that and some. And I noticed that y'all, I don't know if y'all have experienced that. Not people saying it to me, but I have heard people actually make Yah less than human. I'm gonna be honest. And we know he's beyond that. He's the creator of humans. So how could he be less than human? But that's the mindset of people, even in the church. A lot of people, like, let's take, for instance, the Catholic Church. Do you all, the Catholics and the Christians, the Christian was created. Now, there were Christians during Paul time. They done away with them. They killed them like they did the apostles. Okay. But when they formed it over again, the Roman Catholic, they allow Christian to start being a shield for them. So even today, y'all, Christians here on this earth, they believe in all this homosexual stuff. They believe in pedophiles. They believe in everything wicked and evil. And I'm saying the majority of them, 99.9, they are, and they feel because they just hanging on that word God. Oh, we hanging on Jesus Christ. We hanging on God. They're using that as the Roman Catholics are using them. The Roman Catholics use Christians for a shield. So you won't know the darkness of the world. So they use Christians. That's why so much wicked is in the Christian church, y'all. It's a lot of wicked in the Christian church. That's why. Because they are nothing but shields. The Roman Catholic created them to be shields to protect them. So when someone talk about religion, Roman Catholics always out of it. It's always Christians and everybody else. Y'all didn't notice that, did you? A lot of people don't know nothing about that. That's how they hide. And that's how they've been hiding. And the Christian is allowing them to have. The Christian knows that the Roman Catholic has done a lot of the wicked, and that they are the Catholic's shield. They are the same, how would I say it? Entity. They are the same people. They are the same. They one of the same kind. It's no different. They are loaded with darkness, loaded with wickedness, and loaded with all kind of abomination. They believe everything that Yah said not do, they didn't already wiped it out. And then the Roman Catholic reversed everything, and then with the Jesuits, which all of them are the same. That's why the Jews over there don't believe in Yeshua HaMashiach. You see, it's just like the Catholics. They believe in Mary. You see, they all are the same servant of Satan. So you see, you can't just make one, oh, this one ain't like that. This one ain't like that. This one. How dare you make all of Satan's seed separate? They're all the same. And that's why I say, even among the Christians, there's a lot of things going on, and that's why they ain't gonna find their way home. So when I hear about them prosecuting Christians, they're going one ear and not the next. That's not like the prosecuting Christians like back in Paul's time and after Paul had died. They was really prosecuting the Christians after Paul passed away. Oh yeah, for many years. But what happened? The Roman Catholics said, "Let's do this, y'all." Same way they got with bringing us over to these lands. Roman Catholic played a big part in that, y'all. Yes. The Atlantic slave trade, them and Iran, and I believe Iran, I think Iraq, I think all the Middle East was partaker in all that mess, y'all. British, all of them was partaker in it. But the Roman Catholics has always been the head dog. Don't look when you look at them. This is why I don't understand why people think Europeans is okay. All of these, I'm gonna listen to this. All of these religions, all of them, y'all, were started by Europeans. And that's sad that the people in this world don't know that. From Baptist to Jehovah's Witness, all of them started by Europeans, y'all. And they running around here. And like the same way with the Hebrew Israelites, sit your tails down. Your lost books that you found, your Torah, your King James Version, all of that has been tampered with. Great deal by the Roman Catholics and Jesuits. They done switched all that mess out. Your best bet is their Ruach HaKodesh, the real deal, the real teacher. I don't know what people getting off thinking that they can just kick all that to the curve and not understand. All them lost books is the same books they got. Sit down. I went to a state sale probably a year ago, and I saw a Catholic Bible. It had all the books in it. All the lost books in it. You see what I'm saying, y'all? They're not lost. They got you lost. They got all the books, and you run around here chasing them because they didn't add it, smeared, took away. And how dare you think that everything you read when you find the lost one is right? That's why you need the Holy Spirit. That's the only thing right. That's the only one right. The Ruach HaKodesh. The only one right is the Ruach HaKodesh. So you need to sit down. I mean, like really sit your tail down. Jeremiah chapter 6. In Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 9, let me see what that is saying here. Who can move control the hand of Yah? Nobody. So sit down. Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 9. Shall I not visit them for these things? Said Yah. Shall not my spirit be avenged on such a nation as this? Now you see how dumb people are? Look at here. It says so. This says so. Shall not my soul, wait a minute, hold up. It's spirit, y'all. This is where you will never win darkness. It's because people have took on the narrow gate, the broad gate. That's the only way they know to go. And like I just try to explain to you all, if you thinking the Father finna bring that right hand down and make your crooked straight, where you at today is where you gonna remain. So if people walking around here thinking that they got it from A to Z, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. Because you can't tell them nothing. They think they in the kingdom already. You can't say nothing. You can't tell them nothing. They truly believe that they're in the kingdom. Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse, it was Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 9. Or did I read the wrong verse? No. Shall I not visit? Shall I not visit for these things? Said Yah. And shall not my spirit be avenged on such a nation as this? Not no soul. You see how they messed up? That's they make up word. So they got the whole world, which is the Christians, believing the soul. You see? And all the other religion that they started, y'all didn't know, they started all them religions. All of them, they played a hand in. And they made sure they got them the books, the Jesuits, the fake oohs. They made sure they got all the things, the T's crossed and the I's dotted for each religion that's out here. So that's why I say it's a sad thing that Israel would get tied up in lost books, because when you finish grabbing all these lost books, you still lost it than you were before you picked up the book that you thought was lost. You think you found something when you got them lost books? No, it made you even lost. That's why Solomon says much studying books is a worrisome to the flesh. You can't be, because the Ruach has to take a place somewhere in you. And if you're chasing books after books after books, and books is your way of saying that's the word, well, okay, you about right. Book yourself somewhere and sit down. How about that? You might as well leave y'all alone. You hooked up on books and fail to realize the same one gave you the first one, gave you the last one. Same one changed the first one, changed the last one. Okay. So here I'm in Job chapter 9 and verse 12. Behold, he take it away. Who can hinder him? Who will say unto him, what doeth I? Who can move the hand of Yah? Job chapter 9, verse 12. Behold, he take it away. Who can hinder him? Who will say unto him, what doeth I? Evil people, people who are on this earth right today, they think they can question him in that form, and you don't even have a foot or a toe or a pinky nowhere near him. He's letting these people be what they are from the kingdom. And that's what people didn't understand when he said this is the time like no other, because he's allowing people to really be who they really are from the kingdom. And they thinking that they thinking they ruling something. They think they teaching you something. They think they own it. They think they got it made. They think they got from A to Z. Oh, we got all these books. We found all the lost books. We put all these books together. And this said this, precept this, line that, Torah this, Torah that. No matter what you have, if you don't have the Ruach to bust that thing up and land that thing down, you dead sleep and shall perish that way. Who can control the hand of Yah? Job is giving you an example. Behold, he takes away. Who, in verse 12, behold, he taketh away. Who can hinder him, Deborah? Who can? Who will say unto him, what doeth I? He's asking facts. Job is saying something that I say even today. Who is out there that feel they can control the hand of Yah? Nobody. They out here teaching it like they can. They out here preaching it like they can. They out here living it like they have changed the hand of Yah. Let me go to 12, Job chapter 12. In the book of Job, chapter 12 and verse 14. Behold, he break it down and it cannot be built again. Hold up, though. Hold up. That's what I was trying to say throughout time, telling y'all he ain't coming back to fix anything that's broken. Where you at is where you going. People don't care. That's where they at. They're not going to accept the fact that the way they're living on this earth is their eternal life. Meaning, if you're not a servant of the Most High Yah, you have not been redeemed. You see? You can hoop and holler. You can be a Christian, any other religion there is. All of them was made and created by Europeans. The Roman Catholics, the Jesuits, and the fake Oods, all of them are Europeans. And a lot of people don't like you talking like that. But the truth be told, the Europeans are Satan's enemies. For sure. They are the seed of Satan. I know a lot of people don't want to believe that and accept it. That's on you. Keep on trucking. Just hold up a little while longer. Because they have their nation have stepped into every nation and done evil, and still yet today smiling and grinning like they ain't done nothing. And they think heaven's gonna open up the door for them because they said that they are Christian. I think that best bet is to go over there to Israel and keep supporting Israel. That's all I can think. Their best bet is to keep supporting Israel. So here in the book of did I read that one there to 14? In book of Job, chapter 12, verse 14, behold, I mean, look, who can break down and it cannot be built again. He shut it up, a man, and there can be no opening. That's Yah. That's Yah. And I like that. Because Job actually telling you really who Yah is from his standpoint. He ain't man to be played with. He says, behold, he break it down and it cannot be built again. He shut it up, a man, and there can be no opening. He don't play. And Job is telling you what he know of Yah. So in the book of Job, chapter 11, verse 10, it reads, if he cut off and shut up or gather together, then who can hinder him? You see? Job is asking these questions. He's asking these questions. Just like I said, who can control the hand of Yah? With a question mark. Who can? You can't. I can't. Nobody can. The book of Job, chapter 11, verse 10, if he cut off and shut up or gather together, then who can hinder him? None of us can control the hand of Yah. But I say unto you all, many of you all, and I my thing is that I don't know what can really be said to people today. And the Spirit been dealing with me on that today. And they said, repent for the kingdom is at hand. That's it. Repent, for the kingdom is at hand. You're not going to get people to do that. Because where we at today, people thinking, I got so many other verses, but I'm going to end here. So many people thinking they're all that answer. And ain't nothing wrong with me. And you know what make people feel that way? Because of the multitude. They figure everybody else going that route. Surely all of us can't be wrong. They have to be wrong. That's how they think. That's how they feel. As long as they fall in the multitude, because the multitude assure them that, hey, we all in this together. Let's go in this broad gate. And this is what make people go that way. This is what make people numb to anything righteous, anything just, anything upright. So they start to, and they not start, they continue to serve the ways of their flesh. They tend to live by their flesh standards. Everything that's really based on their flesh, that's the way they live it. That's the way they accept it. They accept everything into that order, and they don't want to go any other way. But I do know, because even someone was telling me that last week. They said, now look, we got waited on. But look at that line. I said, I told you it works every time. The multitude go always through the broad gate. And it's just not just the broad gate that leads to hell. They go that in everything that you see on earth. People follow evil, darkness, wrong, as long as the multitude is going there. A lot of people are comfortable when they see the multitude heading the way. Isn't that deep? And they don't even understand. They're heading straight to that broad gate. And guess what? It's not a gate that you're going to reverse and say, oh, no, I didn't meant to go in this gate. Oh, no, I'm going to turn around and go back the other way. Guess what? When you go in, I'm here to tell y'all something you didn't know. You can't turn around and reverse and come out. Just telling you the truth. Once you go in that broad gate, you can't get in that gate and turn around and say, no, I don't want to go in here. I'm going the other way. No. That's not how it works. And that's where many people are at. They thinking that, okay, I can ride this broad gate as long as I know the way. I know the way out. No, you and you ain't gonna get out. And a lot of them don't know that. You know, you went through that broad gate because he made the way for you. Just like Adam and Eve. That tree was put there because that was your way. That was their way, y'all. Everything was perfect. Even the tree of life. Everything was perfect. They went the way that was their way. What do you mean? From the kingdom. That was the door they were supposed to enter in. The broad gate. They couldn't reverse it because that was their way. And I say this not just to the a small, but to the 99.9 have chosen to go through the broad gate and thinking that, okay, I'm in the broad gate, but as soon as I get this, as soon as I retire, as soon as I hit the lottery, as soon as I do this, I'm going to get right. No, baby. Right ain't going to get you. So just go on your way through the broad gate and just have your way. And like a lot of people really think that, oh, that when I cross that bridge when I get there. Oh, lo and behold, they're going to realize they never had a bridge to cross. So anybody in the live chat, if you have any questions, I got a few more minutes for anybody to have any question. Yep. Any questions in the live chat? Oh, yeah. Now, I'm going to be honest. I have heard people say that all the time, but I have not. I don't know why. I think because I kind of discern people. You know how I got in trouble so many times when he said, try the spirit by the spirit, to where I have learned to kind of know what to say and when to say it, because from where I'm at now is at the level of no return, meaning you can't go back and get nobody and bring them into the narrow gate, baby. That's where I'm at now. It's just it's a place where we need to be getting ready, because I really believe that somewhere something is about to take place. And when y'all gonna do it, I can't give you the day, the week, the month, nor the hour. But I believe that it was meant that people don't see what's going on. Just like they didn't see the flood until it was present. Lot and them didn't see Solomon and Gomorrah being destroyed until y'all destroyed it. You get what I'm saying? I think that's what is happening now. This is why people can't really hear you. This is why people don't take heed to you. This is why people don't listen to spirit and truth nor the light, is because they themselves has not been awarded the eye to see, the ear to hear, nor the light to take with them in the midst of all this darkness. This is why people can't feel this thing. This is why people don't have the long suffering and the endurance for what's taking place, is because they're not going to get it. They're not going to have that. They're going to remain exactly where they at, because that's where Yah's going with them. It's right where they at. Honestly, I made a statement a few minutes ago about no one ever could teach it. Why? Because they dropped the ball in the beginning. But all you have to do is look at the fact that, wait a minute, if everything he created was perfect, that tree of good and evil was a door added among perfect, because he knew that even though he made a perfect man and a perfect woman, he still knew that they needed to go in the door that their perfect spirit was assigned to. Yep. And they went straight in with no problem. With no problem. They didn't have no problem going in to that door. That there should bust every church wide open. Why? Because it tells you how long they've been lying. It tells you how long they've been lying. I'm wondering, why is it the study guide, we never heard anything about the descendants of Japheth? And then, boom, they came out of nowhere, devouring the whole world, killing and stealing and destroying out of nowhere. I think they what Japheth was not Esau. Who was that? Japheth. I'm trying to figure out who was it that he said he was going to allow them to have power over. And have a mighty army and defeat. It was somebody, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Yeah, but I'm trying to find out who was that. I think he did say that Japheth was going to be a mighty army, I believe, and they were going to be taken over somewhere. I'm gonna look into that. And just wanting to. But I think it is something telling us that they was going to take that position that they do have today. A lot of people don't really understand what is actually going on. I believe, honestly, I think that Iraq, I think that's Ishmael, the Middle East people. A lot of them are against us because us as Israel. So they'll never support us. If anything, they will get with those to destroy us because that's Abraham's seed on the other side. That's Abraham's seed on the other side, not the promise. So what people don't understand, they can't be the promise. They can't come back and end up being the promise when they weren't the promise from the beginning. Okay, so they can't come back and claim to be Abraham in nothing. That's why you got to be very careful and understand Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob set up. And that's a sad thing. How could people been living all these years and been teaching the mass and the multitude, drawing them straight through the broad gate and only taking them that way? Because when you think about the promise, you have to understand there's two promises: a promise to the flesh and a promise to the spirit. And I think what's happened is they still riding on Dumb City to the promise of the flesh. Okay. And they fail to realize that in the Middle East, Abraham had a son, Ishmael. And when they say Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they have to understand that Ishmael is still over there as well. So they have to be able to separate that and understand he's talking about the promise in the spirit realm. He's not talking about the promise in the flesh realm. He met that promise. He fulfilled it. He, like Joshua, take them to the promised land that he promised Abraham. Another thing that you all did not understand, he promised Abraham the promise of the Mount Zion, which is the spiritual promise. Okay, so that's what people don't, that's why they get mixed up. They take Abraham and they just figure, oh, Abraham, we going with Abraham. No, you ain't going with Abraham. If you ain't born to be the one that honors the Father and you the one that dishonor the Father, you're born to dishonor him. If he had the clay, he is the potter of the clay. He got one to honor and one to dishonor. This is what's messed up with all the religions, is they fail to realize that the kingdom had everything in control from the beginning. They don't want to give him that honor, that praise, that exalt. They don't want to worship. They don't want to see him nowhere near that. So they just live the lie, and they can't help but live the lie because they Satan serpent seeds, okay? And they prefer the broad gate because being the potter of the clay, of the same lump, he's explained to you there's two kinds of people here on the earth, okay? And that's the same way it is with Abraham. Abraham in the spirit or Abraham in the flesh. We are not going to Mount Zion nor the kingdom based on the flesh. You can't go based on being Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's in the flesh. You have to be Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the spirit. That's what people don't understand. That's what Abraham and Isaac was, spiritual seeds. No one wants to come in the door that way. They want to come as flesh seeds into a spiritual realm. That's why Ishmael and all his ace over there in the Middle East can't come in. They can also say, when we Abraham's seed, many can say they Abraham's seed, but you can't get in through Abraham's seed of the flesh. You can get in through Abraham's seed of the spirit, and very few shall find. that gate that leads there. So I, Sister Deborah, yeah, they do. They just they think they control them. That's the only thing I don't like. Oh yeah, change his hand, but they still think they can. And they'll try to find you the verses. Oh, but he said that we can just do this and we can get in. It just ain't no, it just ain't there. It just ain't going to be there. This is the mind of the people, and nobody wants his power. They don't want to know about his power, and I don't know how they're gonna know about him. How could you separate him from his power and his power from him? I mean, that's just like separating the word. But they've done that. They think the word is the book. They don't understand that the word come down to live in us through the Ruach HaKodesh. And it was promised to teach us all things. Not the books that man has smeared, wiped up and wiped out. Now, what he'll let you do, use it as a study guide. But he ain't gonna let you go slamming him in the mouth with it. Like he ain't the word. No, you ain't gonna go that route. He ain't gonna let you do it. The Most High is not gonna let us disrespect him because that's what we think we can do. No, he ain't gonna let us do that, y'all. He ain't gonna let us do that. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live. I appreciate you. And I, Sister Deborah, will be back again. And I'm going to try to find another topic. I ain't going to try to find, I'm going to seek Yah for. He gave me this one here about when I was in the water. He gave me that one about how the power was dropped back then, and that I shouldn't expect people to pick up the ball or expect people to understand today about his right hand, his stretched out hand, and his right hand and stretched out arm. Because if they dropped the ball yesterday, they'll never know what it's like. And I'm saying to him, Father, they don't know. If they don't know what you like, and they left the hand back and they left the arm back there, then they left the power, then what is it that they know? Nothing. That's why he said and made that statement about the narrow gate. That's why the gate is so narrow. That's the true fact right there. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate you in the live chat. And I will be back. And like I was explaining to you before, when you're talking, and I don't know if you have experienced this, when you really talking about Yah, his power, who he is, his word, when you talk about things that's surrounding and focus straightly on him, you ain't gonna get too many participants. You ain't gonna get people participating, or you ain't gonna get people wanting to hear this, because people are already in the broad gate. They think that this is so easy to come on YouTube and I can go here, I can go here, I can go here, or I can come up here and listen to her. I've been listening to her for years. They don't even understand. Their action shows louder than them even saying a word, because it shows you that they are only willing to hear things that doesn't really give him no glory. This is where it's in them already, and they have no idea. They can follow Sister Deborah as long as they want, but it's in them. You see, this is why they don't get embedded in the message when you're talking about anything that has to do with our Father. The Father had to teach me that. I didn't know that though. I really didn't, because he was teaching me by showing me different. When I do a video and he'll say, now you was giving me glory, you was honoring me, you was exalting me, and you was teaching it, and you was giving them information to teach it. But you notice how flat? When he keep telling me that, and that's what happened today. That is exactly what happened. Everything we were talking about, even the topic, led up to his what? Who can change the hand of Yah? So therefore, when we talk about the hand, what are we giving him? All glory on your power. You see? We focusing strictly on the Father. And as I'm coming off and saying, and I, Sister Deborah, appreciate the Spirit just spoke it to me just that quick. He said that was another one of your topics that you noticed it was about me. You noticed you didn't have any participants. You noticed no one didn't have anything to say. You noticed that they weren't embedded in the conversation. See, this is what I be telling you. But this shows you who's in the narrow gate and who's in the broad. And they think you don't know nothing. This tells the story. That's why if it's not in them, you can't expect them to bring anything out of them if it's nothing in them. You see? And if what he mean is anytime you give the lesson and let it just rest on me. Because what are we talking about? We talking about his right hand, his stretched out arm, and hey, ain't nobody can mess with that power and his power. And look, you don't get nobody to communicate. Next time you come on here, notice that. Notice it. When it's time to give him the glory and the praise, we ain't gonna get nobody saying nothing. It's sad, but that's, and see, they think you bull crapping when you saying, I know who you are. Because all you have to do is open up the book and start to speak out of it, the study guide, and then start letting the Ruach expound on it. And when it can be about everything else. But when it come down to the Father, when it come down to his word, him being the word, him being the power, his right hand, his strength, hey, you ain't gonna get nobody to participate because they don't know that they are the serpent seed. They don't know that they're not redeemed. Because, see, their spirit's supposed to be excited to give the Father the glory. Their spirit's supposed to be excited to honor him and to learn of him and his right hand and his power. He's the potter of the clay. Their spirit's supposed to be energized, you see? But when you don't talk about him, their flesh is, they want to hear the message in the flesh to energize their flesh. So this is why they respond then and won't respond when you're talking about the Ruach, because they don't have the Holy Spirit. So how do we expect them to be energized when the Spirit is not in them? They just on here. That's all. They just get on to just get on. And see if you're saying something outside of giving him the glory. But we still give him the glory and the praise. He's still all that and some. Yes, he is. Yeah, and I always have to come back and say something sometimes because I don't really go back to look at the videos. But when the Ruach say something, like I was getting ready to cut off here, and then the Spirit just spoke it with a quicken, and I said, let me just say something about it. But it ain't nothing. It just shows you how you know already by the Spirit. They walk around with no fruit. They walk around with no labor, and they walk around with no work. They're not supportive. They just think that this is a platform to where they can just come in and out, and they in there. Oh, but this day. They don't know. They don't have no idea what he got prepared for. They have no idea. But they will. Because they think it's a game. They play the same games all these people play on this YouTube. They play the same darn game. So I, Sister Deborah, say, I appreciate you. And I will be back again. And as long as y'all give me the strength and keep teaching me the way he keep teaching me and instilling things in me, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be about my Father's business because he all that and some. With his word, with his power, with his right hand, his stretched out arm. Let me tell you, he all that and some. So I, Sister Deborah, says, shalom and shalom. That's right. All righty.